Jesus. Save me, Charlie. Oh yeah, I forgot you wasn't here when the DLC came out. I was like, don't you already have one? You wasn't here, my brother. You know, I said I thought you already had one, but you wasn't here when the DLC came out. I forgot that came out in where my quality is. Oh no. You give me some next out the bottle.
The late Lil Peep and XXXTentacion came together for the posthumous release Falling Down. At the time of his death, X was awaiting numerous felony charges, including battery and aggravated assault of a pregnant victim. The charges were dropped after his death. Back on the song, X is heard talking about Peep's death.
Like, if I would've known he was so cool, and it's like, yo, if I would've watched interviews sooner, bro, we were so alike. It's unfortunate because it's like, yo, when people die, that's when we like, you know? Because your remorse kind of makes you check them out.
In an interview, McConan explained that the track came together after X heard a snippet of the original version entitled Sunlight on Your Skin, featuring McConan's vocals on YouTube.
Where I wanna be, again and again, alone you and me, just skin to skin.
The details over Peep's thoughts on X are murky. Lil Tracy, a member of Peep's goth boy clique, spoke out against the song, and collaborator Fishnark issued this video.
He explicitly rejected Triple X for his abuse of women, spent time and money getting Triple X's songs removed from his Spotify playlist, and wouldn't have co-signed that song. Don't listen to it.
Florida's Fat Nick, a mutual friend of Peep and X, was planning on getting them together before Peep passed. Peep's mother initially signaled that this collaboration wasn't her choice, but things might have changed as X's mother said this was from the both of them. McConan says this collab was meant to bring people together.
I think it would be good for everybody, both legacies, all that.
If you'd like to learn more about Falling Down, check out the song page on Genius.com. I'm Jacques Morel with Genius News, bringing you the meaning and the knowledge behind the music. Peace.
Your friend is close, your enemy is close. See you.
go, go, go!
Hey guys, Drifter here. Today we're doing Call of Duty Blackout versus Fortnite and versus PUBG. We're doing a big comparison of what is going to be the 3 big Battle Royale games on the market this fall, and I'm going to be having gameplay of each one. Of course, you're seeing Call of Duty Blackout right now, but when relevant, there will be Fortnite gameplay and there will be PUBG gameplay as well. For those of you that haven't heard or are coming in from different parts of the internet, the Call of Duty Blackout beta has been a huge success. The game mode is getting a lot of love from inside the COD community, which is rare because the COD community's #1 MO is to hate everything, and oddly, it's getting a lot of attention from outside the COD community. For the first time in ages, gamers, big Twitch streamers, pro players, and people that really aren't interested in Call of Duty are suddenly playing Blackout, and most of them are having a good time. I personally have had a great time playing it too. It's been the most refreshing thing I've done in Call of Duty in years, almost maybe a decade. However, in the age of mega games and mega corporations and big marketing and YouTube and Twitch dollars, we have to ask questions like, can Call of Duty Blackout kill Fortnite? Can Blackout kill PUBG? Or more accurately, can it even compete with those games? This is going to be the first sort of old money, old media, old brand that's making a new Battle Royale to compete with these super popular Battle Royale games. And right now, the Battle Royale pie is extremely large. There are a lot of players that play Battle Royale games, but it is finite. The question then is, can Call of Duty get a big enough slice of that finite pie to sustain itself? And we'll start off with a question that I get a lot, which is, can Call of Duty Blackout kill Fortnite? No. Really, no. It just absolutely cannot kill Fortnite for a variety of reasons. And there's probably a lot of COD fans watching this video right now that's really salty because they hate Fortnite because it dethroned their #1 game for the last decade. But no matter how good Call of Duty Blackout is, no matter how amazing it is or how much they update it or what they do to it to make it just downright objectively better than Fortnite, it cannot beat Fortnite because its business position and its accessibility just isn't even remotely as competitive. In short, Fortnite is a free-to-play game on all systems. That's PlayStation, that's Xbox, that's Nintendo Switch, that's iPhone, that's Android, that's PC, that's tablet. Just about anything that can run a game can run Fortnite. It does crossplay on all of those systems. It has no microtransactions. Then the game is designed to be kid-friendly and advertiser-friendly. Even though it's kid-friendly, it also appeals to adults. So Fortnite has the broadest brush of marketing and accessibility possible today. Blackout, in comparison, is a $60 game plus a season pass plus probably some more microtransactions on top of that. It runs on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. As of now, I haven't played the PC version, so we don't know how that's going to pan out. There's no crossplay, which kind of stinks. It's a slightly more mature game. Not all parents are going to let their kids play Call of Duty, and it's also not advertiser-friendly. We're going to talk about this kid-friendliness and this advertiser-friendliness thing in a second because it's not something that many of you are familiar with. But Fortnite is just more accessible in every single way, which means it will have more players. From a business standpoint, having more players doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to make more money or even have a better return on investment. It just means that the player base is going to be huge. Because of that huge player base, that means it will maintain a dominance on YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer for the foreseeable future. So Fortnite's still going to stay #1. The ad-friendly thing is probably confusing quite a few of you, but the short version is this is something that mostly just affects content creators. As of right now, in the marketing space, in the media space, guns are very, very taboo. Guns are a hot subject. They're very contentious. They're very political. Brands that associate and advertise on guns are not viewed highly. People are afraid of backlash. So guns of any kind, blood, gore, and violence in general are not considered ad-friendly right now. Those are just things that advertisers do not want to touch, and this is something that I deal with on a daily basis on all of the platforms that I stream. If I do ad-friendly, which means very clean content, it makes me a lot more money than doing content with guns. What that means is that there will be less content creators like me willing to push Blackout to take lower value ads instead of something like Fortnite, which yes, Fortnite has guns, and yes, you shoot people, but it's very cartoony and kid-friendly and non-offensive in any potential conceivable way, so ad revenue is really high. With less content creators pushing it, that means it won't have as big a dominance on YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer, and also this ad-friendly thing means that it's harder to get Blackout on mainstream media and get big event sponsors. As a just random example, if right now Epic Games wanted to broadcast a Fortnite championship on ESPN and pull in Pepsi as a sponsor, that would probably be fine. That would just go hand in hand. But if Activision wanted to do that, if they wanted to put Blackout on mainstream television and pull in Pepsi as a sponsor, the television would be like, yeah, I don't know if we want to broadcast this game with kids shooting each other with very realistic looking guns, and Pepsi would be like, yeah, we don't want to have Pepsi logos next to like a big pile of graphic dead bodies. So that's kind of a no-go on that. Fortnite may be number one. However, I do think that Blackout is going to take away a large portion of Fortnite's player base. And by large, I don't by any means mean the majority, I just mean a noticeable chunk. A metric ton of console players quit Call of Duty during Infinite Warfare and World War II, and having no really great alternative shooters on console, a lot of them gravitated to Fortnite. Fortnite grew as Call of Duty was dying, especially on console, because it was just the best alternative game there, period. Many of them may come back to Call of Duty now that Blackout has a nice alternative, now that there is any alternative, a good choice. Some of them are going to prefer the familiar or the more mature of Call of Duty compared to Fortnite. I'm going to wager that about 15% of console players that play Fortnite right now will move over to Blackout over the course of the next Call of Duty season. And I'm going to wager that if Blackout were to go free to play today, we might see 35 to maybe 50% of Fortnite players swap over to Blackout, which would be huge. But as of now, it's not planned to be free to play. Behind that paywall, it's going to be about a 10 to 15% conversion rate. The next question, and probably the more important one for this video, is can Blackout kill PUBG? And the answer is yes.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
Definitely yes, and especially on console. Console is a very weak point for PUBG. PUBG is in a much more vulnerable position than Fortnite for a variety of reasons. For their business position, it costs money to play. It has loot boxes on top of that. For the same reason with guns and violence, it's not very advertiser friendly, and it's in a rough spot on PC. The PC version has quite a few bugs and weaknesses. It's still not super well optimized. You have to have a good PC and a lot of patience to get it going. And it's nearly unplayable on console. Console PUBG is super bad. I'm going to try not to harp on it too much, but we'll just say that it's rough for now. PUBG definitely offers a more realistic military experience than Call of Duty. If you play it seriously, you can definitely screw around in PUBG, but PUBG compared to Blackout is definitely the more serious and realistic game. PUBG has a bigger map, more maps of a great deal of variety, more loot, more gear, more vehicles, more things that you can do and control your body. However, PUBG is still just really buggy and it's demanding on PC, and a lot of the gameplay mechanics are just ways that you work around the bugs. It doesn't have nearly the same tight, smooth shooting mechanics that Call of Duty does, and probably never will. I'm kind of amazed at this point that PUBG is still the #1 game on Steam. I think it's just because the base idea for PUBG is so fantastic that players are willing to overlook every other flaw that the game has. And the Xbox version is nearly unplayable. If you play PUBG on the Xbox original, it's really terrible. Xbox One X is workable, but it's still pretty bad. Comparatively, the Blackout beta on PlayStation 4 regular is more optimized than PUBG for PC, which is its best platform. And that's a very mean and sad thing to say, but PUBG is just very vulnerable and weak right now because of these optimization issues. Blackout has a similar theme to PUBG, and it fits nicely between PUBG and Fortnite in tone. If PUBG is serious, methodical, sometimes slow and campy, and not as much crazy stuff, then Blackout is about half serious. You can play it super fun, or you can play it super fast, or you can do crazy stuff in vehicles, but it's not the kids' bounce house that Fortnite is. I think, and this is just my projection for the future, that about 75% of players who try Blackout will prefer it over PUBG. And I think that almost 100% of console players that play Blackout will prefer it over PUBG as well. And I think that Blackout is going to hurt PUBG on Xbox a lot. And if for some strange reason Treyarch decides to make Blackout free to play, that's going to be a complete rip to PUBG on Xbox. That is just going to murder PUBG on Xbox. There is one thing that PUBG has going for it, especially when it comes to PC, that Blackout does not, and that's that PUBG is available on Steam, and it's available globally, and it's available in China. Call of Duty Blackout's only going to be on Battle.net, which is the Activision platform. It's basically for World of Warcraft and Overwatch at this point, StarCraft 2. But Battle.net is a much less popular distribution platform. It's a much simpler platform. There's a lot less social features and a lot of things going on with Battle.net that PC players have expressed a great number of their complaints to me about. Battle.net is also not the global platform. Steam is the global platform, Battle.net is not. As of recording this video, I haven't played the PC version yet, and for that reason, PUBG on Steam is just going to be much more accessible than Call of Duty will be on Battle.net, and there's going to be a lot of players that are not going to be willing to swap to Battle.net or may not have it available in their region. As of recording this video, I have not yet played the PC version of Call of Duty Blackout. I've played the PC beta quite a lot, and I actually enjoyed that better than the console version, so I'm hoping that similarly, all of the issues we have with the console version are smoothed out when we get to PC. However, it could still suck, and that would just be bad. I do think a good, stable PC version of Blackout could take a very big chunk of PUBG's PC player base. I'm going to wager 30-40% of them if the game is successful, and 100% on console, which will hurt PUBG a lot. I don't think it's going to kill PUBG on PC, but PUBG is definitely going to be feeling it, and they should be sweating. Fortnite doesn't have to sweat. Fortnite's in a good position. They'll be #1 for quite some time. PUBG should be very legitimately worried about what Blackout is going to do to them, and at this point, we don't even know if Red Dead is going to have a Battle Royale. We don't know what Battlefield Battle Royale is going to look like. This whole video could be irrelevant when those two companies drop their big reveals. Guys, that is all for this video. I hope that you learned something useful. I hope that I was able to inform.
Are you a good sport?
Most of the time.
What's the player count for Blackout?
80 at the beta. Go from there.
But really, what do the numbers mean?
What are the numbers, Mason?
Why stop at 80?
Why not 115?
Is it going to be 115?
With any luck.
Is it scalable just in case you need to tweak it after the beta?
Yeah.
Did those yellow dots in the reveal trailer actually add up to 80 players?